Hello and welcome back. And thank you so much for being here today. Have you ever wanted karma to get someone back? Oh, I hope karma gets them back for what they've done to me. Boo hoo. Yeah, well, the actual statement is I hope karma's got their back. We're gonna do some buttery, smooth ASMR healing vibes going on. Okay, well, kinda. I don't know exactly how ASMR will be on the mic, but we're giving it a try. Anyway, back to it. What is karma? Well, in this video, I'm going to go ahead and break this down, and I'm going to share some information I just received from a Bashar video that really narrows karma down to more than just something that people perceive as a negative thing to get someone back. Okay? Because just even you considering the fact of hoping karma gets someone back, you're activating your own negative karma, your own negative karmatic cycle that will be transferred back to you as you wish ill on someone else, meaning that's the reflection you're going to receive. And why does it work like that? Well, I'll tell you in this video. And I'm Ventzi. I'm your divine feminine empowerment and spiritual awakening coach. And I'm here to move you from the fear that you have in your life, from living to your fullest expression, so that you can live fully without the blocks and limitations that the cultural societal hypnotic mechanism has placed on you. And most importantly, I'm going to support you moving from trauma to transcendence while you can cultivate deep and meaningful connections with others, romantic and non-romantic, while you fall completely in love with your life and just when you think you can't take another step. Buttery smooth voice, I'm gonna push you so you can fall in love with yourself. Let's get it. So let's break this down. Karma is a reflection. I'm just gonna get straight to it, okay? Karma is a reflection of what you're emitting, how you're showing up in the world. Law of reflection. How you're doing things to others is a reflection as a mirror back to you. There is nobody else besides you. This whole world is just a reflection of who you are being. That's it. So what this means is you're not looking at the world as it is. You're looking at the world as you are. It's a direct reflection, and everybody else is also getting the same reflection that they're emitting. So how does that work? Right? Why is it? Because, you would think somebody did something bad to you, their life should be a tragedy, right? Wrong. You can actually live in different parallel realities. And because of this, you only live in the reflection that you're receiving who you are being. So when you make shifts from internally and shift who you are, then your outside reality shifts. You can't go ahead and smile in the mirror and pretend to be happy and expect reality to shift to you and law of attraction to kick in to give you more things of happiness when you're really sad inside and not happy. So guess what? Karma is a synchronicity. A lot of people just relate it to it being a negative thing. You do this, you're going to get bad stuff happening to you. You do good stuff, you're going to get good stuff happening to you. Kinda. However, it's a direct reflection of showing you and who you are being. So that way you can choose, is this who I really want to show up as in my world, in my life? Or do I want to make some changes from within? Because this is clearly somewhere deep inside of me that's being reflected. And when I talk about somebody receiving, like you want karma to get them back, what I mean is I hope karma has their back. Because that's positive. Because that means if somebody did something bad to you, the best thing you can do is that hope that they get an opportunity to see how they're treating others, how they're showing up in the world so that they can make the shift for the better. Not because you want something bad to happen to them. You genuinely want the best for them. Unconditional love. Unconditionally, you want their life to shift for the better. Without the condition needing to change, you can stay in the vibration of love and still hope the best for them, no matter how much BS they've put you through. And last year I had a group of friends, I can't even call them friends. I had a bunch of people that I was around. And they, I was a people pleaser. I had my own issues and worthiness wounds and whatnot. And when I started pulling my energy away, all of a sudden I started becoming a problem. I started placing some boundaries. I was a problem. I complained too much. I was too sensitive. That's what they started labeling me as. And it's like, I'm choosing, and I even let them know, I'm choosing to cocoon myself. I'm going through my own journey, spiritual awakening. I need space from them and from all the help they kept asking me to do on their farmland property. Like, I became a problem because I was no longer helping or giving them my energy because I started focusing on me. Right? And they did a lot of negative things to me. And I realized that they are deeply wounded humans on their own. And as I started clearing the energy and dark patterns from within, from myself, I realized I attracted them from familiar energy dynamics, from what was comfortable for me growing up and what felt safe, to be treated a certain way, for me to give a certain way, and in return I would receive validation and approval. It wasn't enough though. Once I started healing that, I started realizing what was really happening. Either way, things became a mess. And the only thing I want for those people is for them to heal and get better. I unconditionally love them because I hope the best for them. I hope they can figure it out. I hope that they can work through their traumas, because back when I was in their friend group, I realized that they had a lot of issues. They would open up to me on certain subjects and I couldn't help. And I thought because they were way older than me, these people were like 10, 20 years older than me. And I've had a lot of older friends growing up. Actually, my whole life, I've had mainly older people around me for the most part. And, well, I didn't think I was going to get this deep in this video. I just wanted to make a quick video. This isn't even the video I wanted to make. I'm just so tired. It's like freaking almost 1 a.m. And either way, I want the best for these people. Okay? Bottom line, that's it. And I realized that they had a lot of trauma that I couldn't help them through because I thought they knew what they were doing, because I would be the one to go to them for advice. And then I realized, as I did my own healing journey and awakened, the advice they gave me wasn't very good. Like, they would tell me stories about similar things that they've been through, yet they never gave me the answer of how to overcome it, because they never overcame it. They just told me their sob story, the trauma bond. I'm like, oh yeah, now we're even closer because we have this trauma bond. Right? But I never actually heard how they got out of it. How did you actually heal? Because it seems to come up in your relationships. You still have all this jealousy patterns, this nonsense, and it's like, and I'm coming to them for relationship advice. Wild, right? Either way though, I didn't feel like I could support them on their journey. I always felt like they and who I've become through part of this process and making this content, I actually have the energy and know how to support someone through certain relationships, right? Because now I can see their blind spots from the stories. I can pick up on the patterns and where they were, the abundance lack of abundance, lack of safety. They've been cheated on, all sorts of stuff, like trust issues. And it all really just all stems from like worthiness and feeling whole and complete and feeling safe within yourself, right? I could guide them where I'm at now in my life. I still wish the best for them, right? And I spent, after, because they did some really, really not pleasant things to make my life not very fun for a time being, right? And through that, I became grateful because I learned what unconditional love is and still wanting the best for them. And it awoke me to my spiritual awakening to this extent where I could do the inner work, because I could have taken two paths. I could either become need justification, need justice. I could have attacked and went down this rabbit hole of being this negative person and being vindictive and vengeful. And instead, I kept choosing the path of letting go and doing the inner work and becoming safe within myself and knowing that I'm okay no matter what. And that I don't want to associate any more of my energy in a negative way with people who don't deserve any more of my energy. So my point is, karma is a reflection. And the only thing that they're going to see, because it's always on, everybody's getting their reflection no matter what. They're going to get that mirror in front of them. And I hope that they can take karma's advice and the reflection that karma is showing them and say, hey, this is how you're being. Do you still want to continue this way? It's a positive thing. You get to choose and make that adjustment within yourself. Except it starts with being vulnerable to yourself and trusting that you don't have to be this way. You can make the shift. A lot of people get stuck and they just keep being in this habit because they just think, oh, this is just the way it is now, versus stepping through the fire and making that shift. Because stepping through the fire, guess what? You get to look at your shadow, not just the reflection in the mirror. You get to look at your shadow, all those triggers and deeply wounded aspects of yourself that hurt, that are screaming, the childhood pain, the abuse from your parents, the suffering, your inner child screaming. And most people just want to shove him and lock him in or her. They want to shove their inner child in a closet and stuff it away like they have been, instead of realizing they can be there for themselves now, that they can hear their inner child, healing that wound and moving forward and deciding, I don't want to be like this anymore. I had a few things in that situation. Again, I think I was going to get this vulnerable. I'm going to have to remake this video to make a more refined one, because my main focus for this is karma is just synchronicity. It's just a reflection in a mirror of who you're being, and everybody's getting that. And I hope we can shift it to a positive thing, because I genuinely want the best for people, and the only way people will ever evolve is if they look at themselves in the mirror and see that reflection that karma offers them. And I hope the reflection that karma offers them is not too bad. Like karma's got your back in a way that it's like, here's a safety net. Here's, I don't want something crazy to happen to anybody. I want it to be in a kind and respectful way that they can grow and step through the fire and be okay. Right? Because again, I could have, and this is what I'm trying to point out, is I could have brought these people to a courtroom, and I think it was just whatever they did doesn't matter. However, it was a $10,000 fine just as a sorry to me. That's what one of my attorneys said. So, but I decided I don't want to take that route. I don't want to take them to court. I don't want to keep fighting this. I don't, and I don't really want to talk about this either. However, I felt like this is something that can be shared and used as value, because I chose to let go, and it was really hard for me to let go. It was really, really difficult to let go of all the pain and suffering they put me through, and not just me, my family through it also. My mom was like freaking out at some of the stuff that was happening. Except, and I'm grateful for my mom. Put a lot of stress on my mom and me, right? But it's like I realized, like, one, I'm grateful for the experience because I got to choose to grow. I got to choose to let go. I only bring up this story because I feel like it's something that maybe you can relate to, because let go of the karmatic cycle and move forward and choose to be the version of you that you want to be. You have that split ways path. Do you want to go down this negative road, or do you want to go and become the better version of yourself with unconditional love, and understand that whatever you've experienced is going to benefit you anyway, because that was the next step, the next hurdle to open up your heart that deeply. Because at the end of this life, at the end of you being who you are right now, you wake up to who you fully are and you'd be like, oh, this round of Earth was pretty dope. Dang, I wish I had just said F it and chose more peace, love, tranquility, and a road of passion and vulnerability and excitement and joy, versus resentment, need justification, needing justice, needing to be right, needing to be angry, and keeping myself there. And guess what? You know what? It's not just your shadow, by the way, that you got to step through that fire, because your shadow, when you do step through that fire, it's gonna, your like inner child and shadow, when they're wounded, and they are, and those triggers come up, it's going to find any piece of story, any story, and anything it can latch onto right away to validate and prove to you that you don't deserve to be this healed version, that you don't deserve to keep moving forward, that it wants to dictate your life and control you to, this is how you were treated, this is what you deserve, world sucks, you gotta be cold, blah blah blah. Well, guess what? You don't have to be. You can show grace and gratitude to people who even hurt you. You can be in an unconditional loving state. Set your very conditional boundaries, because the people in your life that are going to be in alignment to stay with you, you want to have a vulnerable, connective expression of self, and most importantly, be able to invite feedback. You want their feedback of how are they receiving you. It's about making an adjustment to compromise and evolve yourself and grow of, hey, maybe I do need to make some shifts in my personality, or you do have very fine line boundaries that this is just who you actually are, and you can't make that shift because maybe you're really dealing with a narcissist who's trying to control and manipulate you, and you know deep at your core that you're not an evil person, that you're not negative, you're not all this BS stuff. And I had, again, that group of people and an ex try to tell me, dude, I had this one ex try to tell me that I was ADHD, OCD, all these things. I got a psychologist. I got tested. I'm not truly ADHD, and I'm not OCD. I just like certain things to be done a certain way because that system seems to work best. And when I do find something new to add to it, I upgrade. I'm not stuck in this freaking cycle of, yeah, I don't even know what OCD is like, and I don't have it. But I fell into that trap and believed it. Right? I don't know how I got onto this. However, I think this will add value. We're at loopy sessions right now, okay? That's what I'm saying. Invite feedback. Make adjustments to the people. And they also need to be receiving your feedback. They need to be inviting your feedback in. They also are to set their healthy boundaries. To set, what they dislike and like about you. And it's a vulnerable conversation where you can grow. And guess what? People who aren't willing to sit there and grow with you and be vulnerable and compassionate to each other as you express each other's souls and hearts to each other, and they're not willing to take that step further with you, and be in relationship with you, okay, time to let them go. Because I know for me, if I'm not, if I had to learn how to be vulnerable. I had to learn how to step through the fire. I had to learn how to express myself and accept feedback and try to make things work. And there is a point where you do have to set proper boundaries. And if they disrespect your boundaries and they keep disrespecting them after you've even reminded them kindly, you've even reinforced it, and they just keep doing it, great. Now this is a display of disrespect. You don't want my boundary. I don't want to be in relationship with you. It's very simple. It makes sense to leave. You don't want to accept my feedback. You don't want to be vulnerable with me. You're not in the right place to be vulnerable, and I can't make you shift to be vulnerable. It's time for me to leave because I only want people who can be this level of vulnerability around me. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying in this journey of, I've went into a whole relationship thing with friendships, romantic and non-romantic, expression of vulnerability and your needs and adjustments in relationship with whoever you are is so very crucial, because I didn't have any of that with any of these people or that ex. However, you know what I am grateful for is the journey that I had with these people, because had I not had it with them, I would have had it with somebody else. And it doesn't matter, because I wanted this as a soul. I wanted to learn unconditional love, and I wanted more than anything to reach this level of freedom in my mind and security, to know that I'm safe and I can guide and navigate myself through conversations, because I get to be creative with how I express myself and how I get to set boundaries. People think setting boundaries is like this, if I have to make this wall and you know, and then it's a scary thing, and it is a scary thing sometimes if you're not used to it. However, the more you do it, the more you step through that fire, the more you get creative and have fun with it, gently, kindly. And who cares about the outcome? Because you have two of them. Either they join you and they're in your boundary, or you freaking leave. And it's time to find a new friend. It's not all black and white though. Just because, oh, you don't accept me fully, I gotta peace out. Oh, just because, you know, we're having a disagreement, I gotta peace out. We can't be friends. You know, it's not so black and white, because this will lead you to avoidancy in relationships, and you'll always feel alone. Except you also have to put in that effort, and because if you put in that effort, you're gonna start getting a reflection of people who are also doing the inner work. Okay, so again, the journey I am grateful for, because I became this version of me who can navigate relationships, who can have fun and express creativity and enjoy relationship with others. And that's why it's so very important now that I see, like, you don't want to ever wish anything ill upon anyone. Not because you're afraid of karma coming back at you. It's because you only want the best for people. That's unconditional love. Without the conditioning to change, you can still love people and set your very conditional boundaries. That's why those people aren't my friends anymore. We don't have to associate anymore in the real world, in this physical world. That's okay. They were part of my journey, and I'm so happy I got to experience it, because I am this new version of me because of it. So karma is a synchronicity. It's a synchronizing event. Just like when you think things are magical and the law of attraction is bringing you things, it's because you're emitting a great vibration and you're receiving that. And it's letting you know, do you want to continue this path and be this version? Because you're going to keep getting more of this. That's all it is. Just synchronicity. It's a reflection. That came from Bashar's video. And that's all it is. It's a stopway and a mirror asking you, hey, this is who you want to be, yay or nay. All right. I hope you got some guidance on this. I will make a more refined video. Like and subscribe and let me know how this helped you, if you can relate to any of this, if if you enjoyed this, and have a wonderful, magnificent, transformative, alchemizing day. Beautiful soul, love and light vibration out. Bye.